Hello!
Ahoy!
Welcome to the BOTScars, the first annual BOTScars ceremony.
The stars are on the red carpet.
They are indeed.
The awards have been polished.
They have indeed.
I'm polishing my award right now opposite you.
I wondered what was turning me on so much.
And we've even got seat fillers over the place. Yeah.
Have we?
Yeah. So when people come up to claim their awards...
Somebody else sits in their seat?
Sure. Got to look good on TV.
Who have we roped in for that role?
Got people.
People?
Yeah.
Nondescript people. How are you today?
I am very good. I am excited.
I'm really excited for this. We've been planning this for so long. A lot of admin gone into this one, more than normal. So what are we doing, Nick?
We are presenting the BOTScars.
Yes.
So I think I talked about this a bit before, but I'm happy to mention it again.
Go for it.
So we have just completed our second season of Bottom of the Stream, where we are on a never-ending voyage on our podcast boat to find hidden gems lurking at the bottom of the Netflix stream. We have looked at 25 films each series.
Yeah.
And any film that we've talked about is eligible for an award. And this is those awards.
Yeah. Every good film podcast needs an award ceremony. Every good film studio needs an award ceremony. I'm really excited. I'm buzzing. I've been buzzing all day.
Can we talk about what our award looks like first?
Yeah, definitely.
We'll tweet it out and tweet it and Instagram it and
get it out on
all the socials.
Let's get it out there on all the socials. I'm so proud of it. It looks amazing.
So our thanks go to our resident artist, Ross Cooke.
Definitely.
How would you describe the award?
It's like an Oscar with a telly for a head holding a dead fish.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's killed the fish off.
That's because I said a few episodes ago, our award should just be a fish.
Yeah.
I said it should literally be a fish.
Just give them like a dried fish.
I think Ross has taken that and incorporated
it
into these awards, which are fantastic.
Yeah, they are really good. Thank you so much, Ross. They're really, really good. Yeah, if you go and check out our socials, you'll be able to see them. I really wanted to get one 3D printed. But I thought that would be really cool.
Maybe we can work on that.
Yeah, maybe for next year.
So we are going to go through. We have 10 awards to give out.
We do indeed.
So we'll go through them.
Yep.
We don't know who's won yet.
No, we're going to debate them live.
So we have the nominations.
Yep.
We have a few surprise guests to help us present.
Lots of special guests coming in to assist us with this.
And then between the two of us, we will just have a chat about each award and agree.
Hopefully agree. Fight to the death.
Or argue about who the winner should be.
Maybe we'll have to play rock, paper, scissors for the winner.
You want to come back for more? Are you sure that's wise?
Yeah, I'm still gutted that you beat me the last time.
And I think we're going to have some fun.
I think we are. I'm really looking forward to it.
Is there any more admin or intros?
Don't think so.
Do we need to give our socials out just so people know where they can find these awards and pictures we're going to tweet?
I can do that. So follow us on Twitter at BOTS_podcast. Follow us on Instagram. That's the same, at BOTS_podcast. Facebook.com/bottom of the stream is the Facebook page. bottomofthestream@gmail.com is the email address, and bottomofthestream.com is the website. On the website, you will find both season stream tables and every episode we've ever recorded. Both season stream tables are now complete as well. So soon you'll be able to find the third season stream table.
Oh, amazing.
Mental. Also follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/bottomofthestream, where for a little bit of a cash monies every month, you can get some free cool shit.
If you can't do that, then just leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, because that really helps us along. Anything else?
Don't think so.
If you're interacting with us in the next week or so, let's go for hashtag BOTScars. That is hashtag BOTSCARS.
Do it.
Let's get it going.
Get it going. We'll start it.
It's the award ceremony everyone is going to want to be
Definitely.
part of.
I'm going to tweet everybody who's won an award tonight and let them know that they've won one. So hopefully we'll get some interaction with the winners and nominees as well, which would be cool.
There's some awards you may not want to win.
Yeah.
I suggest?
We're not being completely positive with these, but that wouldn't be us without it. Are we ready to move on to the first award?
I think so.
Okay, so what's the first award that we're giving out tonight, Nick?
Numero uno is an award suggested by one of our Patreons, the aforementioned Ross Cooke.
Yep, resident artist.
Yes, it is the award for the most misleading trailer.
And so it is quite apt that the person who's going to present the nominations for this award is Mr. Ross Cooke himself. Please welcome Ross Cooke.
Hi, Ross Cooke here. You might know me from such things as the logo for the Bottom of the Stream podcast and nothing else. If you fancy changing that, head over to Instagram and give me a follow at Ross Cooke Comic Art or at my semi-almost regular webcomic at Inappropriately Boring. Good luck spelling that. I believe in you. When BTOS asked me if I wanted to be part of the BOTScars, I was nervous, honoured, and more than a little turned on. I hope you'll join me in all those feelings as I present the nominations for Best Shirtless Nicolas Cage Wait, no, sorry, that's wrong. It's the award for the most misleading trailer. And the nominations are Animal World, Clinical, The Anomaly, The Clapper, He's Out There. Thanks. Back to you, Adam and Nick.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Ross. I am definitely feeling a little horny.
Me too, always. Especially when you mention shirtless Nicolas Cage.
I know. It's just the sound of Ross's voice. It's enough to get me going. Right, most misleading trailer.
Most misleading trailer.
We've had a few of these.
We really have. All 5 of those that are nominated for a start.
What sticks out to you? I don't think we necessarily need to talk about all of them.
No, maybe not.
But we'll just go with the flow and see what happens.
Yeah, personally, I think this is the most clear-cut one we've got on the whole list.
Okay.
If Animal World doesn't win this one, I'll be very disappointed. The trailer for Animal World portrays a completely different film to the film Animal World.
Sure.
It's a shoo-in for me.
So I'm between two of them stick in my mind.
Okay.
One of them is Clinical. Mostly because from the trailer I thought we were getting a good film. And it was not.
And we did not.
That kind of was edited into us having this really taut, suspenseful, gripping. It was a really good trailer.
It is a really good trailer, to be fair.
And there was none of those features in the movie.
Shit film.
It was like a made-for-TV, Lifetime type movie, and it was terrible. But I will save my arguments for later because I totally agree with you.
It's got to be Animal World, hasn't it?
Animal World. What did the trailer give us? It gave us a ninja clown fighting aliens.
Yeah. What did the film give us?
It gave us a high-stakes game of rock, paper, scissors on a cruise ship.
Yeah, it really did. It was the most... The trailer was pretty much all done in the first 10 minutes of the film.
Sure.
The rest of the film was completely different to what the trailer was, and it was the most misleading trailer. There's no two ways about it. I think it's an easy one.
I think so too. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to the producers of Animal World and its stars for winning the first ever BOTScar.
Well done.
Yes, the BOTScar for most misleading trailer goes to Animal World.
Brilliant.
Excellent. That was easy. We're going to fly through this. We're going to be about 15 minutes. We'll be done and out.
I'm not sure I'd put money on that. So, Ad, what is award number 2?
The second award of the evening is going to be for Best Deaf. And to to present the award, we are joined by our friends Gorham and Reginald Thistlethwaite from the Friends and Flayers podcast.
Hello, I'm Gorham.
And I'm Reginald Thistlethwaite from the Friends and Flayers podcast.
We're getting ready to launch Season 2 of our show.
To get caught up on Season 1, you can listen to Friends and Flayers on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and other major podcast platforms.
You can follow us on Twitter at Friends N Flayers. That's Friends, the letter N, Flayers. We're here to present the nominations for Best Death.
The nominees are The Cubing from The Cube,
Garbage Disposal Neck Break from Wish Upon,
Head Crush, The Lazarus Effect,
The Cheerleader from Murder Party,
and Double Knife Head Stab from The Babysitter.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Gorham. Thanks, Reginald.
Friends and Flayers is a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, if you hadn't guessed.
Check them out.
They're really good.
It's funny.
That is funny.
Do you know it? I think that is the first Reginald I've ever met.
Really? My granddad was called Reginald.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not. It's definitely the first Gorham I've ever met.
Yep, definitely. I've never met a Gorham.
Welcome. Thanks for coming along.
Thanks for coming along, guys. We'll leave links to all the podcasts in the description of this episode, so you can check them all out because they're all great.
Yeah.
As we wouldn't have had them on if they weren't.
And I'm sure we'll say a couple of times, but thank you very much for everyone who
absolutely,
has
100%.
come along tonight to help present.
You're all looking great.
I don't know. I mean, does he really squeeze into that tux that well?
Not brilliantly, is it?
But there you go. Who am I to comment about fashion?
Absolutely. Look what you're wearing.
Yeah, exactly.
You've still got your podcast shorts on.
But tux on top.
Tux on top.
Anyway.
Okay, Best Deaf.
I think we should probably talk a little bit about all of these, actually.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because, again, we had a lot of deaths to choose from.
We did, yeah. This was a hard one to pick 5 for.
I will say, I'll give a shout out, an honourable mention, if you will, for a film that we did not actually nominate in this category. And remember Revenger?
I do.
Body count in that.
Yeah, there was a lot of deaths in that.
I think
that would definitely win most deaths.
Yeah, I think the difficulty is picking one out of there.
Yeah.
Would have been a very tough task. So the cubing in the cube.
Very first scene of the film?
Maybe the most famous death.
Yeah, definitely.
Debatable if it's the best, but you know, Cube's an old film.
Yeah, 97?
Yeah, and one we definitely wanted to go and revisit.
Yeah.
Because
it was the only one we've done out of the 50 that we'd seen before.
Yes.
So
and
it was a long time ago. It was season 1.
Yeah. But it's pretty iconic. So how would you describe that? It's basically a guy gets cheese wired.
Yeah, into cubes.
And falls into little cubes of man meat.
Pretty much the first scene of the film as well, isn't it? So you kind of straight away know exactly what you're getting from Cube.
Also, well done for not laughing when I said man meat.
I'm used to you saying man meat. I say it all the time.
So, yeah, good. I think that's a strong contender.
I agree. Garbage Disposal Neck Break from Wish Upon.
It's probably the best thing of a tame film.
I really liked Wish Upon. We're going to have this argument again. So, yeah, there was an older lady.
She was scalped by her garbage disposal, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Her hair got caught.
And her neck got broken and her head got ripped off. Her hair got ripped off.
My problem with Wish Upon was that it did not go all in. So if it had gone full in, Final Destination, I would have been more on board.
Be a little bit too serious, I guess.
It had a couple of good deaths in, but it cut away. And I'm not one, I don't need to see like loads of gore and stuff.
Yeah.
But if they were going to do stuff like that,
do it.
Go all in.
Go out there and do it.
And they sort of pulled away, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I'm discounting that for me.
Okay, straight away. Straight out. Head Crush, The Lazarus Effect.
Everyone loves a good head crush.
This was right at the end of the film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The main guy got killed.
From Game of Thrones to The Lazarus Effect. Everyone likes a good head crush.
I really liked this death because I thought the effects were really good. He sort of went purple and his eyes started bulging. So then there was a really horrible crunching noise.
So this is when the demon lady crushed her ex-fiance's
head. Head's the word, Head Crush.
Yeah.
I keep knocking my microphone.
That was a good one.
Cheerleader, Murder Party was a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
That was really early on.
So I like this one.
Yeah?
Because
it came out of nowhere.
Exactly. So you've got this set up in a warehouse. Not much has happened so far in the film.
Yeah.
And then basically the cheerleader falls off a chair and gets head impaled by a bit of steel.
She does.
And it was the surprise factor that gives this a lot of points for me.
First hint of where the film was heading.
Yeah.
And then the film really headed in that direction. Murder Party's mental. It's a strong contender as well. And then more recently, Double Knife Head Stab from The Babysitter.
Sure.
So the nerd guy, all of a sudden, again, out of nowhere, the first death of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, got double stabbed in the head.
The Babysitter produces a couple of daggers, basically, and sacrifices the
guy from Hot Pot.
Yeah, by stabbing him in the head. Do you know what holds me back on that one?
Go on.
I think it was in the trailer, or part of it was in the trailer.
Oh wow!
I think my memory maybe.
I can't remember.
But that's what I think. What are you putting your money on then?
I think it's between the cubing and the cheerleader in Murder Party.
Okay. I have highlighted one of those.
Which one have you highlighted?
The cheerleader in Murder Party.
I think it has to be, doesn't it? Like you say, the cubing in the cube is really iconic, but that death in the Murder Party came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And really set the scene for where the rest of the film was going.
And it was the standout moment of that movie.
Yeah, 100%.
I know I'd argue the others weren't.
Murder Party's weird in my mind because it finished really low on the stream table.
Yeah.
But I have a real fond memories of it now.
It's out there.
It's really out there. I don't know, I have a bit of an affection for it now. I don't know if time's passed and I just think, Murder Party.
I did, so I can remember, I didn't particularly like it, but
we thought
as a movie, I didn't particularly like it, but you can't help but respect how low budget it was and how much they got out of it.
I think we said that at the time that we did quite like it, but at the same time, it was almost too much. There was too much going on. It was too visceral, almost. Yeah. I'm willing to give it to that. I think that's who should win it.
Excellent.
Yeah?
Congratulations
to the woman who played the cheerleader in Murder Party. We probably should have researched that.
Well done for
but the film itself wins that award.
Yeah.
So
who'd have thought Murder Party would win her?
Yeah, 20th in the season 1 stream table, holding on to a BOTScar.
Congrats.
Yeah, definitely. Well done, Murder Party. Shall we move on to the next award?
Let's do it.
We are flying through these. So, do you want to read out what the next award's going to be?
I'm looking forward to this one. And I think this was your baby, wasn't it, this one? So, our next BOTScar is for the most batshit crazy film.
Yeah, this one's the big one. We've watched, pretty much every film we've watched been batshit crazy, so this is really highly contended. To present this award, we've got a lady called Caitlin from the Eat Crime podcast. So, welcome her to the stage, I guess.
Hey guys, it's Caitlin from Eat Crime, a podcast full of delicious mysteries. Each week, my co-host Amy and I talk about crime and snacks from all over the world. So while you're stuck in self-quarantine, head on over to Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and check out our episodes. And when you're done with that, go on over to our social media. You can find us on Twitter, or Instagram, or YouTube at Eat Crime. And if you're on Facebook, we're there too, at Eat Crime Pod. I'm really excited to be announcing the nominations for Most Batshit Crazy Film. And the nominations are Animal World, Miracle Mile, Await Further Instructions, Revenger, and Murder Party.
Thank you very much, Caitlin.
Thank you. Yeah, looking beautiful.
As always. Go and check out the Eat Crime podcast. They just eat food and talk about crime, I think.
What a concept.
It's all in the name.
Yeah.
I believe they are on a hiatus at the minute, though, but go and check out their back catalogue, if they are.
We should do more eating. No, that's a bad idea.
I say we should do more hiatuses.
it would just interrupt the sound quality.
I can't do more eating. I eat enough. So, to recap what she said there, the most batshit crazy film nominations are Animal World, Miracle Mile, Await Further Instructions, Revenger, and Murder Party. And literally any single one of those films could win it.
Yeah.
Do you not think? All 5 of them are mental.
Completely.
For different reasons. Do we want to go through them? Work through them in order, I guess?
I think we'll just a little bit on Animal World.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at what I've got in front of me, the list of awards and nominations, and I think that is the film that comes up most.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I really recommend you go and check it out.
Yeah, 100%.
Now,
if you've not watched it yet, go and watch it.
Sure. So, a Chinese film about a rock, paper, scissors tournament.
Starring Michael Douglas.
With a ninja clown in it.
Yeah.
What more do you want me to say?
Nothing. I'd happily go and watch it again now. We'll stop this recording and go and watch it. I loved it.
It's a crazy film.
It's batshit crazy. There's no two ways about it. Every single scene's mental.
It's a front runner for this award.
Yes.
What do you make of Miracle Mile?
Miracle Mile's batshit crazy for a different reason.
Totally.
It's because the film is it's sensible. It makes sense. Is that the word for makes sense? Sensical.
Plausible?
What's the opposite to nonsensical? Sensical.
I think I might have to review that with the
film is sensical. It's just what made Miracle Mile batshit crazy is the fact that the geography was all over the place for a start. 1 minute they were at one side of the city and then they were suddenly not. And it just was a bit weird.
I've watched a lot of films in my time.
I've watched 50 films now.
That's just for this. I struggle to think of another film that I have ever seen that has such a tonal shift in it as Miracle Mile does.
Yeah.
The first 20 minutes, it is a fairly paint-by-numbers rom-com.
Yeah.
And it's good as a rom-com.
It is. It works.
You get quite into... They set up a lot with the relationship, the chemistry between the leads. So it's Anthony Edwards and Mary...
Yes.
Winningham?
Something like that.
And it's it's a mid-80s film.
Yeah.
So it's got a kind of cool retro vibe to it. And then after 25 minutes, it turns into a end of the world movie.
Yeah, apocalyptic thriller almost.
Yeah. A sort of, nuclear apocalypse film.
Yeah. And then it ends really like nuclear.
It's dark.
It's really dark at the end. It's almost Cloverfield dark at the end.
But it's got a message.
Yeah.
Especially from the time it was, what was going on in the world at that time.
Yeah.
The sort of Cold War
Definitely.
reflection of that sort of thing.
I think it is batshit crazy. I don't think it can compete with the other 4 in this category. I think
it's a worthy nominee, but I don't think it's an award winner.
I agree.
For me.
I would discount it from this one at the minute. Which brings us to Await Further Instructions.
Yeah.
Which was really third episode?
Third episode
ever. So we talked. This is nearly a year ago. The last time we talked about this film.
Yeah. British film.
Batshit crazy? 100%.
Utterly. It is a Christmas film.
Yeah.
Where a dysfunctional family
Yep.
gets together for Christmas dinner, and their house is encased by an alien being.
Yep.
That speaks to them through their television.
Yep.
And
made of licorice.
Yeah, and the family starts to turn on each other.
Yeah.
And that's just the setup.
Yeah. And then
because the last 15 minutes of this, it goes to a whole different level.
I think if you just go on the last 15 minutes, it's by far the most mental thing I've ever seen.
Sure.
It's the most crazy thing I've ever seen.
So we're going full spoilers, I presume, because I need to express
that's what we do.
I need to express that this movie picks off everyone in this family one by one.
Yeah.
Until at the end, the alien strips the skin from the sister of the family who happens to be pregnant.
Yeah.
And just leaves the baby miraculously born.
Yeah.
Still in the ribcage of his mother.
Fully formed.
Yeah. No goo on it or anything.
And basically implies that it's the second coming.
Yeah, the baby is the second coming, but it is controlled by this alien being, which is talking to it through the television. There's a comment in there about how we're all slaves to TV and media, and it cuts back and you see the whole estate of this housing estate is each house is covered by
everybody's in the same
either different aliens or the same being.
Yeah,
it's fucking mental.
It really is. You can't discount it for this one. I don't think. I think it's a forerunner.
It's the one I've circled.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's go on to the other two.
Let's just touch on the other two. Revenger.
Batshit crazy.
Sure.
Without a doubt. It's Korean. It's a martial arts film.
Revenge flick.
It's a Korean martial arts revenge film.
With a bit of kind of the Lost Boys thrown in.
Yep. Never really stops from the minute it starts. It's
wonderfully entertaining.
Yeah, really good. Finished second in the stream table, I think.
Second or third in the first series.
Third. I've got the first season stream table here.
But I think I can pick out a few other martial arts films where I can also say
there are a lot in this
crazy.
genre, aren't they? And it maybe doesn't stand out of its genre as much.
It was a real pleasant surprise.
I really enjoyed it.
It's not more batshit crazy than Animal World or Await Further Instructions.
Agreed.
Murder Party.
And
we've kind of touched on that.
We've touched on Murder Party. It
has its moments.
It really has its moments. There's some really funny moments in Murder Party. There's some really, really over-the-top, gory moments.
Like you said, it is a completely visceral.
It's really visceral.
When the baseball player, the Warriors guy, gets into that room with all the models at the end, he just slices and dices.
But then there's the really funny bits where the guy's running around with a chainsaw and it's not plugged in.
Yeah.
And
in his cardboard armour.
It is. You can't say that it isn't. It is batshit crazy. Because it never stops. Once it kicks in, it goes.
Yeah.
And it knows exactly where it's going and it goes. I don't think it's as crazy as Animal World or Await Further Instructions. I think in this category, our debate is those two films.
Yes, I agree.
And I can't pick a winner. I know we're going to have to, but
I would be pushing Await Further Instructions.
I think I am as well. And it isn't the one I've circled on here.
Oh, okay. What have you circled?
I've circled Animal World.
Right, okay.
But now we're going back into my memory banks and remembering that finale of Await Further Instructions from almost a year ago. It's mental. And Animal World, don't get me wrong, is batshit crazy.
Yep.
I'm going to keep saying it. But I think Await Further Instructions is, you kind of expect it from the beginning with Animal World. You know what you're getting straight away. You know it's going to be crazy from the first.
You tune into its craziness,
you do indeed. Whereas you don't get that with Await Further Instructions because it starts off as just like a normal family drama.
Yeah. And
then moves into this
hostage-y type thing.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you've got this immaculate birth / flesh stripping finale. Also, the dad in the family gets
he gets kind of possessed
by the alien, and he's walking around like a zombie,
like
full of like
puppet,
wires and licorice.
Yeah. I'd forgotten all about that. Yeah, there's no way in this world Await Further Instructions is the most batshit crazy film I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I think it has to be.
Yeah.
Await Further Instructions.
Do it.
Congratulations on your victory.
Bringing it home for Britain.
Yeah, Await Further Instructions, most batshit crazy film at the first ever BOTScars ceremony.
Do you think they'll be happy with that award?
I don't know. Do you remember when we first did the episode and they retweeted us from their film and we literally slagged it off all the way through?
So did a couple of the actors as well.
We obviously didn't listen to the episode before they did it. We'll find out. Let's see if we can get them again. I think we probably still follow them.
Good.
Next award?
Sure.
Shall we move on?
Award number 4.
Award number 4 of the evening. is Best Performance by a Non-Human. And do you want to say who this is going to be presented by?
Sure. It's going to be presented by my wife.
Yes. One of my favourite people in the whole world. So introducing Emma, I guess.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Emma, and you probably know me as the wife. But first, a public service announcement.
Wash your hands now, wash your hands now, front and back, front and back. In between your fingers, in between your fingers. Don't forget your thumbs, don't forget your thumbs.
Nominations for the best performance by a non-human are Bigfoot in The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot, The Hotbot from Hotbot, The Time-Travelling Photo Booth from When We First Met, Supermarket Sharks from Bait, and The Wall from The Dawn Wall. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Emma.
Thank you, wife.
The wife.
Also, bonus appearance from the daughters.
Yeah, definitely. That's nice to have them on board. That's the second time they've appeared on the podcast.
Yeah, stay safe, people.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, best non-human.
Best performance by a non-human. Now, we put this category in there because we've seen a lot of quite interesting inanimate objects in this in the 50 episodes.
Sure have.
So we thought we'd award them, I guess. So shall we run through them in order again?
Yeah, go for it.
Bigfoot.
I loved the Bigfoot.
I loved the Bigfoot as well. It was not what I was expecting
No.
when I was watching a film about Bigfoot because it's not that big.
And he's clearly a man in a costume.
It's just a man in a costume.
But it worked.
It really worked.
And I don't know why.
No, I don't know why that film worked, but it really did.
Possibly the smallest screen time out of all these things up for this award would be the Bigfoot, but
Yeah,
he
probably.
definitely left an impression.
It really did. He's definitely a contender in this one, I think.
I don't want to talk about him too much
Okay.
because there's an award later on that I think he is involved in that he is a much stronger contender for than this one.
Right, fair enough. Let's not talk about him too much then.
But Bigfoot was memorable and a very worthy nominee.
Agreed. The Hotbot from Hotbot.
What can you say about the movie Hotbot?
Don't watch the movie Hotbot.
Absolutely do not watch it.
Hotbot was recently removed from Netflix, so you can't watch it anymore.
Now, that movie was about an hour and 15 minutes long.
Yeah, one of the shortest.
And it felt 3 hours long.
Yeah, it really did.
Hotbot is a movie about a misplaced sex robot.
Yeah.
Who falls into the hands of two nerds.
Yeah.
And their adventures with her.
Yeah, and one falls in love with her, and they argue about it, and it's mental. It's shit.
Was it shit on purpose?
No.
Okay, well, we're ruling that one out then.
I really don't think it was shit on purpose. I think it was just shit. I presume we're not. The actress is definitely a human.
Sure.
But the character is a robot, so that's why it's nominated, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
The time-travelling photo booth from When We First Met.
I mean, When We First Met. So it was a proper standard Netflix original.
Yeah.
Easy watch.
Rom-com.
Starring, I can't remember the guy's name. He's all over Netflix. Adam Devine.
Robbie Amell as well, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. And Alexandra Daddario.
Well done, Daddario.
I just like saying Daddario. And they basically ripped off Big.
Yes, 100% ripped off Big.
But instead of a time-travelling and miniaturising fortune teller,
Yeah.
we had a photo booth.
Yeah. And it played a really big part in the film.
It was fine.
Had a role.
Yeah.
It's a really forgettable film, I think, now.
Sure.
I barely
agree.
remember it.
I agree.
Supermarket Sharks.
So this was our second
episode.
ever episode, Bait.
Yeah.
Which has got a great concept.
Yeah.
So it's an Australian film.
It is.
And a supermarket gets flooded via tsunami.
Yep.
And
a couple of sharks.
You end up with a couple of great white sharks in a supermarket.
I love shark movies.
Yep.
I really enjoyed Bait.
Yeah.
It's a really good film.
And they were memorable. There's some good deaths in Bait as well.
Yeah, there are.
And everyone likes a shark.
I love a shark movie. There's two or three of them? Two of them.
Two.
One upstairs, one downstairs.
Sure. One in the car park, one in the shop.
One can climb stairs, one can't. And then finally, The Wall from The Dawn Wall.
Yeah.
So The Dawn Wall is the only documentary film we've ever reviewed. I don't like the word review. Talked about on the show.
It won
season one. It's the number one in the season one stream table, and it's a really fucking good documentary.
It's about two guys, Tommy Caldwell,
Kevin
Jorgensen, and their quest to climb the Dawn Wall in Yosemite National Park. But they are doing a route no one has ever done before.
Yeah.
And it was considered impossible.
Yeah.
Basically.
And it's really, really good documentary on how they tackle it and how much time they spent trying to plan it.
It is nail biting, which is ironic considering they have no nails.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Tommy Caldwell was previously taken hostage in the Middle East.
Yeah, that just comes out of nowhere.
And doesn't have all his fingers.
Yeah, he's only got half of one. No, thumb. He's got thumb missing, hasn't he? I would argue that the wall is definitely very important to the Dawn Wall. That's probably the only character there that you can't do the film without him.
I would say so.
So does that make it win?
It's the one I've circled.
It's the one I've circled as well.
It looks beautiful.
Yes, it is beautiful.
It's a terrifying opponent.
Yep.
It's the villain of the piece.
It is.
It's El Capitan wins it for me.
Yeah, I agree. It's such a good film. It's a really good film. We haven't done any documentaries since. There isn't any more documentaries on the long list. Just because it doesn't really... We felt like it won because it was so gripping rather than being a good film, didn't we? And so...
Yeah, but I'm not ruling out doing documentaries in the future.
One may come in the future.
But yeah, it never really felt like it was quite challenged.
No. It's kind of a different genre, different style of film, isn't it? And it didn't really get challenged for that. So we haven't done any since.
Yeah.
But I really do recommend The Dawn Wall.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's number one in the first season stream table. So yeah, The Wall. El Capitan gets best performance by a non-human.
Well done.
Well done to the mountain.
Congratulations. The immovable object. The Dawn Wall could not be here tonight to accept its award because we couldn't fit it into the theatre.
No, and we're not allowed to leave the country, so we couldn't go there either.
We will send it by post.
Yeah, I'll send it an award.
Well done.
Which brings us on to award number 5. Almost halfway through. Which is the award for most memorable moment, which is presented by Chris from the Play Comics podcast.
Thank you. Welcome back to the BOTScars. I am very honored to be here. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm Chris Osborne, host of Play Comics, a show where I grab a guest and we look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material, and maybe a few other shows coming up soon. We'll have to see about that. But enough about me. You're not here to hear about me. You are here to hear about some of the awards given out on the BOTScars this year. So, without further ado, the nominations for the most memorable moment are the Jizz Sock speech from Hotbot, Random Birth from Await Further Instructions, Shootout from Hold the Dark, Bigfoot Vomit from The Man Who Killed Hitler and the Bigfoot, and Cliff Push from What Keeps You Alive. And the winner is... I don't know because I can't open the envelope. Maybe somebody can help me out with this one a little bit.
Thanks, Chris.
We got you, Chris.
Yeah, we'll definitely help you out with that envelope in a minute.
It's a 3-man job.
So, most memorable moment. This is a really tough one for me.
I would like to say apologies and thank you for Chris for saying the words Jizz Sock speech.
Yeah, when I sent these out, I didn't really think about the sort of things I'd have to say. It's like Caitlin had to say batshit crazy.
I don't know if Chris has seen Hotbot.
Probably not.
But I just imagine his face when those words were placed in front of him.
I hope he didn't read them before he recorded. He just started recording.
What's the Jizz Sock speech?
The Jizz Sock speech appears in Hotbot, the film that we've just been discussing a minute ago. It is possibly the most random scene of any film I've ever seen.
I'm glad I was not watching this movie with anyone.
Yeah, I couldn't have watched. Can you imagine watching it with your parents or something? Oh, the main character's in bed, in his room, and the senator
who's looking for the Hotbot,
who owns the Hotbot. Wow, I've just gone so Midlands. He owns the Hotbot, and he breaks into the bedroom. I can't remember his name. It's a really weird name, isn't it?
Yeah, the kid's name. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. He breaks into his bedroom in the middle of the night and kind of threatens him.
Yeah,
and manages to get hold of the Jizz Sock
that
every teenage boy has in their bedroom.
He reaches under the kid's bed and pulls out like the athletic sports sock, which is like literally cardboard.
Yeah,
it's stiffened into shape, and he
has like a nostalgic rant about his own Jizz Sock.
He's like, I remember having one of these, and he gives it a sniff.
Oh, don't please!
And he breathes it in.
I remember just watching it like wide-eyed, like, what am I watching right now?
I don't know. I'm chuckling now, But it is not funny in the
It
slightest.
is not funny in the slightest. It's funny now because it is not funny then.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so misguided as a scene. It's completely out of place with the rest of the film.
And I will never forget it.
I will not to my dying day. It was probably the last thing I ever remember.
Oh, I hope not.
No, more.
I truly hope not. Yeah. The next one we've just talked about.
Yeah,
it's,
right.
It's the random birth from await further instructions.
It's not even really a birth. It's the mother's body gets stripped away and a baby ends up being there.
And I am saying I don't think we can give it this award because we've just given it most batshit crazy film.
Yeah, but you can be memorable and batshit crazy.
Sure, but I want to dole these out wider. The next one's a serious one.
Yeah, the shootout from Hold the Dark was...
It's a proper good movie moment.
It really is. I remember sitting watching it, being about... Cause it goes on for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a long time. And halfway through, you're like, I'm so tense right now. There's like so much shit going on.
Hold the Dark is an incredibly quiet movie.
Yeah.
The themes in the movie are about isolation and, because it's set in the Alaskan wilderness.
Yeah.
Everything is muffled by the snow. It's quiet. It's about being out in the wilderness, like I say.
Yeah, chasing down wolves, isn't he?
And suddenly you have this 10-minute section where all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
And there is a gunfight between hordes of police officers and a guy in a cabin with a minigun.
Yeah, basically.
After having had 40 minutes of almost, I think I might have even said this in the episode, leaning forward to hear what everyone's saying.
Yeah.
You have this assault on your senses, and it's great.
Yeah, it really is great. And you don't know where to look. You're all over the place. You tense with it. You're excited all of a sudden. It makes your heart race. And it's a really good scene.
Yeah.
It's a really good scene. And it is definitely the most memorable scene from that film.
Totally.
It deserves all its plaudits.
So the next contender is what I was referring to with the last award. So this is the moment when Bigfoot vomits all over Sam Elliott in The Man Who Killed Hitler and then the Bigfoot.
The man who what? Killed him.
Killed Hitler. He wounds Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And then Bigfoot just
They're having a bit of a fight, don't they?
All over him.
Yeah, he really does. Again, it's so out of place. It doesn't...
So he's got Sam Elliott pinned down and he just blows chunks all over that sucker.
It was horrible. It was really horrible because you can really imagine how it smells and tastes like almost. It's like
Bigfoot vomit. You ain't getting that smell out quick.
No, not at all.
It's all in his moustache.
Yeah,
everywhere.
it goes everywhere. It's horrible. And then there's a really poignant moment just after it because he kind of dies, doesn't it? It's like,
so he's forced to put the Bigfoot down.
Yeah,
and he doesn't want to.
So you get it's like a visceral, almost funny scene followed by the most poignant scene in the whole film, and it's like, wow, this really again gets into your mind.
And then lastly, another very serious and memorable moment is from the film that came third in season 2.
Yeah,
What Keeps You Alive, and it's the cliff push.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to explain that a little bit. Massive spoiler alert, as we did in the episode. So we have a couple who have gone on holiday as a sort of country retreat.
Yeah.
And they're out walking.
Yeah.
And one of them just pushes the other off the edge of a cliff.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Yeah. So it really is out of nowhere. I remember sitting up going, what the fuck?
I remember, I think this is the only thing I've probably seen while we've been doing the show where I, same as you, sat up and audibly gasped.
Yeah.
I think.
Because you don't see it coming at all. They're like this loving, two ladies, aren't they? They're like this loving couple all the way up until this point. And then you don't even feel like there's anything weird between them. They're just going on this nice holiday. And then she just pushes her off this cliff out of nowhere. Yeah. And then from there, the whole film goes... Phew.
It's brilliant.
It's such a good film.
Excellent
It's a really
film.
good film.
And then it becomes a sort of game of cat and mouse between the two of them, fight for survival in the wilderness, in the forest.
Which all culminates in it happening again at the end of the film.
It's a brilliant movie.
It's such a really good movie.
Real gem.
Definitely.
I'm not sure where to go with this one.
I've written, crossed out. I've got 3 different markings.
I've also got 3 markings.
It's a really tough one. For me, it's between 3.
Okay.
It's between the jizz sock speech.
Yeah, I've marked that. Yeah.
The shootout in Hold the Dark.
Okay, I've not marked that.
And the cliff push.
Okay. So I went with the jizz sock speech,
the Bigfoot vomit,
and the cliff push.
I see where you're going with the Bigfoot vomit, but I just feel like the other 3 are more ingrained in my memories of Bottom of the Stream.
Yeah, sure. I think I wouldn't disagree with that. I think the Bigfoot vomit is so memorable within the tone of that film.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily as memorable as the other two that I've marked.
So should we narrow it down to those? Means we both mark those two. Let's narrow it down to those two. So it's between the jizz sock speech and the cliff push.
What do you want to do? Do you want to go with a proper
They're very different
moment
scenes.
or something that is memorable because it's cringe?
They're memorable in very different ways. The jizz sock speech is memorable because it was so out of place in the film. And the cliff push is so memorable because it set up the rest of the film.
Yeah.
I think I want to give it to the cliff push.
It's the one that I've double underlined.
I remember I was lying down watching the film as you do, and I remember sitting up like, what the fuck just happened there? I think I even rewound it.
I think I did as well.
It happened so quickly out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, did she fall? Was she pushed? What's happened? I think it has to be the cliff push.
I think so.
We're agreeing on these a lot easier than I thought. I was expecting to be fighting you by now. Cliff push. Congratulations to What Keeps You Alive for most memorable moment. That's a big achievement in 50 films.
We'll throw a BOTScars down to you down there.
Definitely, yeah. Hello. Which brings us on to the next award. Do you want to introduce it?
So this is the first of our acting individual awards, I guess you would say.
Yeah, I guess so.
And this is the aptly named Drowning in the Stream Award.
So what does the Drowning in the Stream Award mean, Nick?
This is basically an award we are going to give to the actor or actress who we believe is slumming it the most.
Yeah.
So,
big name actor.
What the hell are you doing in one of these films?
One of our films. That's basically what it is. And to present the nominations for the Drowning in the Stream Award, we are joined by Overlord Dan from the Movie Cellar podcast.
All hail.
Hey there, this is Overlord Dan from the Movie Cellar podcast, a podcast where we have a VHS collection, an internet connection, and thoroughly uninformed opinions. And we are so grateful to be participating in the BOTScars Awards tonight and to be presenting the nominations for the Drowning in the Stream Award. But before we get to those, I just wanted to plug really quickly our show. You can listen to it anywhere that podcasts can be found. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and other fine podcasting listening apparatuses. But also, I wanted to mention our VHS for T1D fundraising campaign. In this campaign, we are trying to raise money for a cure for type 1 diabetes, something that's important to us as my daughter, my 11-year-old daughter, has type 1 diabetes. And essentially all that you need to do is donate money to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, and we will watch any terrible movie, any fantastic movie, any movie that you choose. So go over to our social media platforms, whether that be Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. You can find us at The Movie Cellar. And check out our bio. We have a link to our campaign in there. And check out some of our episodes. Check out some of our VHS for T1D episodes. Get a feel for what it's about. Get a feel for why we care about it. And get an idea for how much fun it can be to help find a cure for type 1 diabetes. Now, having put in our plug, we would like to go ahead and read off the nominations now for the Drowning in the Stream Award. Your first nominee is Michael Douglas for Animal World. Next up, we have Danny Glover for Christmas Break-In. Then we've got Rami Malek for Buster's Mall Heart. And then we have Peter Dinklage for I Think We're Alone Now. And lastly, Ellen Page for The Cured.
Thanks, Overlord Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
A really worthy cause there. If you can donate, please go and do it. The Drowning in the Stream Award, Nick.
Yeah.
5 guys here, or 4 guys and 1 girl, who are definitely slumming it at the bottom of the stream.
2 Oscar winners.
Yep.
1 Oscar nominee.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Michael Douglas.
It's probably the most decorated person in there.
I think so.
Yeah, definitely. Probably the most decorated person ever on the podcast.
I don't think this can go to Michael Douglas.
Do you not? Why? Explain.
Cash.
Yeah.
Animal World is not a small budget movie.
No, not at all.
If I could have been bothered to do the research, I think we'd even find it was one of the highest budget things we've watched on
Probably.
this show.
I did try and find out the budget for it, but I couldn't find it.
But because it is Chinese, it's a Chinese movie.
Yeah.
That's why it's at the bottom of our stream.
Yes.
It's not something that is
in China, it's probably massive.
Sure.
But
so
here it is not. I agree. I don't
whilst
think
he's drowning in our stream, is he drowning in that stream?
Do you know what he is drowning in?
Money.
Cash. Cash monies. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it can go to Michael Douglas. Although he is probably slumming it more than anybody else.
Yeah.
I don't think he can win the award because he would have got paid too much for it.
Yeah.
Danny Glover?
A strong contender.
Do you think?
I think the Christmas Break-In is not a good movie. And he's not the only person slumming it in this movie.
No,
Denise
that's true.
Richards is in it as well.
She is indeed.
I was because Danny Glover is still in stuff.
Yeah.
And he's popped up in this shitty
Christmas film.
Again, it's a TV. This movie you would see on Christmas 24 on those channels when they turn up.
Yeah, it's made for TV Christmas film. It's paint by numbers. It's a Home Alone rip-off. It's all right. Mediocre.
And he plays the friendly janitor, basically. Yeah, strong contender, I
I agree.
Given Danny Glover's body of work and how long he's had a successful career for.
Why is he making films like this?
Yeah.
Why is he down here making Christmas Break-Ins?
Yeah, great question.
Agreed. Rami Malek.
Oscar winner, Rami Malek.
Oscar winner. Now, I'm in the boat with you. I don't think he can win this one.
I agree.
Because he made this before he was famous.
Yeah.
So he isn't really drowning in the stream.
He is, but retrospectively.
Yeah, he's managed to claw his way out of the stream and get right up to the top of it.
I don't know if we'll talk about this movie again in this episode. We do need to mention that the movie we're talking about now, Buster's Malheart, finished rock bottom.
Was never really contended, was it?
Of the season 2 stream table.
Nothing really competed with it. It was always going to be bottom.
It is
so disappointing.
An incomprehensible movie.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Doesn't make any sense.
Go back. As with all of these, go back, find our episodes, go and listen to them.
Yeah.
Listen to us try to explain what the hell this movie is.
I remember it giving me a headache
about.
trying to talk about it. It's so difficult to explain what's going on.
Check out our episode on Buster's Malheart.
But
I agree. Massive star.
Now.
Yeah.
Wasn't then.
Sure.
So
strike him off.
Strike him off the list. List?
Sean Connery.
Peter Dinklage. I think we're alone now. Also,
Weird
not the only
movie.
one drowning at the bottom of the stream in this film.
So there's 4 people in this movie.
Yeah.
And you've got Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Elle Fanning.
Yeah.
And Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
Are 3 of those people.
Yeah.
All really big stars.
Yeah.
Now,
well, one of them's not really big.
You went there.
Sorry.
You went there.
Apologies.
I think we probably went through the whole episode without making a short joke. How long have you been sitting on that for? Like a year? Really?
Nearly a year, yeah. I think
You're a bigger man than he is.
I think he's a strong contender for this one.
Me too. But I can see why this movie would have appealed to him because it is very much he carries it.
Yeah, it's definitely a showcase piece, isn't it?
Because he's in every scene.
Yeah.
Even though it's a small independent movie, you can see why an actor
would want to do it. It's an arty film, isn't it?
Sure.
It's one of those films. It's an actor's film. It's not that bad either.
It's good. It's slow, but it's basically how people are adjusting to life post a apocalyptic event.
Yeah.
And he's
fine.
Yeah.
Getting on with his life, cleaning up his town until he meets a lady that destroys all that for him. It's worth watching.
It was another film with an unnecessary twist at the end.
Yeah, it was.
Which we've seen a lot of over our time so far.
Finished 9th in the stream table last year, so it's high up.
Not bad. And then finally, Ellen Page in The Cured.
Super famous Ellen Page.
What was this film?
Horrible. I hated this film.
It was really boring.
It was so boring. It's just awful.
It's a zombie film. So again, a post-zombie event has happened in Ireland.
Yeah.
And Ellen Page is a journalist.
Yeah, she plays a journalist.
Single mum.
Yeah, her husband had been killed.
Had been zombified. During
the zombie apocalypse. Because it's post-zombies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Finished 17th in the stream table last year. It should have been lower.
And a really, really non-event of a movie.
Yeah. She's good in it. But why is she in it?
What? Yeah.
Why is she in an Irish post-zombie apocalyptic film?
How has that happened? How have they got Oscar nominee Ellen Page to come and be in this movie?
Yeah.
She's fine, but there's no it's not like the Dinklage film we've just talked about where she doesn't really carry it.
Yeah.
I can't remember that she ever has to really chew any scenery to do that acting bit.
It's not a cameo. She's one of the main characters in it. But why, like you say, why is she in it?
She's my front runner.
That's who I've got marked as well.
Hello. I did not expect this to be...
This is too easy.
Ellen Page.
I think The Cured is a terrible film and Helen Page is a good actress.
Yeah.
And she really is drowning in the stream with that one.
You didn't win a Oscar, Ellen, but you've won a BOTScar.
Well done. Congratulations on your BOTScars, Ellen Page. It's winging its way to you in the post. Next award?
It's one of the big ones.
This is one of the big ones. This is the award for the biggest waste of time, and it is presented by our good friend Harrison Wild from the Grief Burrito podcast.
Hello everyone, I'm Harrison Wild from the Grief Burrito podcast, and I just wanted to say thank you to Adam and Nick at Bottom of the Stream for letting me present this award at the BOTScars. It's great to be here, it really is. I'm here to stand for gamer rights and burritos for all, and I don't think it's fair that we... Really? Hand motions? You're speeding me up? Right, fine. So, the nominations for the biggest waste of time... Whoa, you picked me for Is this, like, aimed at me? Fucking hell, man, I'm personally triggered. So, the biggest waste of time... The nominations are Sierra Burgess is a Loser, Between Worlds, Hotbot, The Open House, The Anomaly, and finally, Buster's Malheart.
Thanks, Harrison. You're not a big waste of time, really. We love you.
Thank you. Also, burritos for all.
Couldn't agree more. We'll sign that petition. Get a petition going, we're signing it.
Oh, I'm hungry. Where can I get a burrito from?
Nowhere.
Oh, God damn it. I have to go home and make one.
I can make you some fajitas. That's the closest I've got, I think.
Biggest waste of time.
Wow. We're harmonised then.
Is this our equivalent of our worst movie?
Yes. That's basically what
that would be one way of looking at this.
It's difficult to call them the worst movie because in theory the two films that finish bottom of the stream tables should be the worst movies. And we're going to have the same thing with the best movies.
So we've seen some terrible movies that I quite enjoyed.
Agreed.
In that, you get that kind of hate watch.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't supposed to be funny, but I'm loving it.
Yeah.
We talked about one last week. So 211, 211, starring Nicolas Cage last week. Yeah. Terrible movie. Yeah. I had a great time.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Absolutely brilliant time watching it. This is the opposite of that.
Yeah, this is like I'm hating watching this.
Give me my
Get
time
it off my screen. Give me these hour and a half back, please. But also the two films that finish bottom of the stream table are nominated here.
Yep.
But they are definitely not a shoo-in to win this award.
No way.
Any of these 5 films could win it. 6 films. Any of these 6 films could win it. Should we go through them in order?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sierra Burgess is a Loser.
No way is that winning this.
No, because...
How much has that movie given us?
It's true.
In terms of discussion, I had a full-on argument with my wife about it.
So did I. I had a full-on argument with your wife about it.
I think there's a real gender gap in how people see that movie.
I agree.
From what we've talked about and some of the feedback we've had.
I agree. I hated it. It is morally wrong, in my opinion, but it also is not the worst movie we've seen.
Yeah, so basically 2 girls completely catfish a guy.
Yeah. It doesn't, like we said during the episode, it doesn't get made the other way around.
Yeah.
It's just, it's horrible. But, like I said, it's not the worst film we've seen.
There's some good performances in it.
Yes.
There's
some good actors in it.
Yeah. And, like, the chemistry between some of them is very good.
Yes.
I don't think it was a big waste of my time.
No, I'm glad I've seen it.
It's not a good film.
We've probably talked about this film more than we've talked about any of the other films since we watched it. It's not a good film. It's the film that nobody should watch, but at the same time, it isn't the worst film we've watched.
I don't think that was a particular waste of my time.
Agreed.
The next movie was an absolute waste of my time.
Yeah, this is going to be a really hard one to pick.
Yeah,
pick this one because all of them are. Between Worlds is a shit movie.
This was our Nicolas Cage movie from season 1.
Yeah.
Where he plays a trucker who meets a woman whose daughter is possessed by Nicolas Cage's ex-wife.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about. And it sounds like it should be fun and it should be interesting. It's got Nicolas Cage in it. It should be exciting. It's really garbage.
And also, I am putting this in inverted commas, it is an erotic thriller.
With Nicolas Cage in. Big fat Nicolas Cage in leopard print budgie smugglers. Ugh.
It is another completely nonsensical movie.
I remember whilst I was watching it thinking, I need this to end now.
Yeah.
There's better things I could be doing with my life than watching this film.
Yeah.
I hate this film.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's not scary. It has no tension. Cage doesn't even get to go off the rails.
No, he's really tied down in it.
It's awful.
It really is.
It is definitely in the conversation for this award.
Yep, you can't discount it. Hotbot's coming up a lot tonight.
Sure. Not in a good way.
No.
Can it be a waste of time if it was nearly won our most memorable moment?
I don't think I would say that Hotbot is a waste of time. It's one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But like I said about Murder Party, I've got a bit of a nostalgic affection for it now.
The problem is,
I was a little bit disappointed when it got removed from Netflix the other week.
Sometimes I find it difficult to separate. Looking back at them, I find it difficult to separate my experience of watching the movie and then my experience of recording the episode.
It's one of my favourite episodes we've done.
Yeah.
Because we just laughed all the way through.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's just so stupid. If you were to sit and watch Hotbot, you are wasting your time.
Absolutely.
It is a big waste of time. Don't know. I'm not discounting it yet.
Okay, I'm with you there.
Yeah. The Open House.
Man, this podcast nearly finished as soon as it started. Because it was our very first episode.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it, the movie, The Open House. And I was wondering what I'd signed up for.
Yeah, it was not a fun time, was it? The ending of The Open House is... If we'd have done an award for worst ending, it might have been up there.
Yeah.
The ending of The Open House made me angry.
Yeah.
Like, proper angry. I would have just literally just wasted the last hour and a half. Because this film... I say ending, it doesn't have an ending. It doesn't end.
It's an awful slasher film that... and it turns out that there is no motivation, there's no reason for the killer. He's just a dude.
Yeah.
Who likes going and looking at houses.
Who you never meet, never get any explanation of who he is.
No.
It's garbage. It's so garbage.
There's no good kills. It's, again, no tension, no... shit.
Shit.
Terrible film.
You can't discount it from this waste of time because you've wasted your time watching it.
Absolutely.
Which leads us on to The Anomaly.
I'm so proud.
The Anomaly was Nick's wild card for this season.
So talk to people about what the wild card system is that we introduced this second series.
We didn't do them in the first season. No. It's a second season
innovation.
Good word. I couldn't think of the word.
Thanks.
So basically, at the start of each season, we both get given a wild card. At the end of every episode, we randomise a film that we're going to watch for the next week. Once a season, you get to veto that and play your wild card. And you vetoed a film, and we watched The Anomaly.
We sure did. And it turned out better than I could have ever imagined. It was one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Agreed.
In my life. Not just on this show, in my life.
I couldn't agree more. It's definitely my worst 5 films ever.
And that was not what I was going for. So
Good.
The reason I picked it was because I thought we haven't really done much sci-fi.
Yeah.
And it had Noel Clarke in it.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good reputation. British,
yeah, he really has,
young British director, Ian Somerhalder.
Yeah.
Again, another reasonable star.
Yeah.
Running around, shooting guns, doing sci-fi stuff.
Brian Cox is in it as well.
Yeah. Again, it makes no sense.
It doesn't.
So
it has no right to be as bad as it is.
Basically, Brian Cox is a dying scientist, and his consciousness is in Noel Clarke's body. But every now and again, for a few minutes, Noel Clarke gets his own consciousness back, and he has to work out what the hell's going on.
Which sounds quite good.
It is executed terribly.
Oh, it's awful. It's so bad.
It's really badly acted. The action scenes are terrible, so it's like a Matrix light.
Yeah.
And remember how they keep the kid hostage?
Yeah, in a bag of acid. That doesn't affect him.
Yeah, so...
It's awful. There's no two words about it. It's right up there with my worst film I've ever seen.
Do you know why I like this so much, though?
Because I hate it so much.
Yeah, because I made you waste your time. The only thing that got me through this was that I knew you would be hating it so much more than me.
I hate it
and
so
that pleases
much.
me.
I hated it so much. Which brings us to the final one, Buster's Malheart. A little bit like Sierra Burgess. I don't think this can win this. It is a waste of time.
And it was the worst film that we saw
this season.
But
at the same time, it has its moments. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
it's weird. It makes no sense, and it doesn't flow together.
Yeah,
but I never wanted to turn it off.
No. Do you think this should be at the bottom of the stream table for this season, or should the Anomaly be there?
No, I think
this
because I enjoyed watching. I didn't not enjoy watching the Anomaly, but it was a waste of my time.
Yeah.
But I'm like I say, I'm totally biased. Because I the only enjoyment I got out of the Anomaly was that I know you would... I was literally sitting there chuckling at how ridiculous and stupid and horrible it was. Because I know you... I could picture your face going red watching it.
Yeah, it was. It really was. This stream table this season is weird because there's some really quality films at the top end of it. And at the bottom of it, there's some absolute dog shit.
The good has been better.
And the worst has been worse.
compared to our first season.
Compared to the first season, yeah. There's a real divide in the stream table in this season. Yeah. We're going to do an episode where we talk about season 2 stream table. Will only be a short little bonus episode, I think. But we'll talk about that more then. But what's your initial thoughts on who should win biggest waste of time?
It's either Between Worlds or The Anomaly.
Those are exactly the two that I've marked. It has to be The Anomaly.
That's what I've circled as well.
How is this happening?
There is no redeeming features from it.
There isn't. There really isn't. And it is god awful. And it's weird now that The Anomaly is going to take this award, but the two films at the bottom of both stream tables are not.
Yep.
Because the stream table is a reactive thing that we do as soon as we've watched the film.
Yeah.
And then things change in your mind slightly, I guess. And I guess that's what we're finding. But
a little bit.
Yeah. The Anomaly is a waste of time. Do not watch that film because you are wasting all of your time watching it.
Congratulations. Commiserations? I'm not sure.
Don't know. Congratulations on your win.
Noel Clark, this award is winging its way to you.
Absolutely. So, should we do something a bit more positive?
Sure.
Let's move on to best performance by a human. So, we've already done non-human. Let's do human.
Come on, humans.
So, this award is presented by Kyle from the Triple G podcast.
Hey, everybody. This is awesome. We've never been invited to a award ceremony yet. Thank you for inviting me to the BOTScars. My name is Kyle Bowlby. You might know me from the little show called Triple G, where we talk about anything geek culture related. Basically games, geeky stuff, and then guilty pleasures. Anyways, enough about me. I wrote a couple jokes I'm going to share with you, just so you can see how amazingly talented I actually am. All right, first up is, why was the Human Torch arrested? Anybody? He had firearms. But yeah. This one's a little more, adult. What's the difference between a bird and a human? Anyone? We don't eat with our peckers. Haha. Anyways, I'm being told to wrap up my jokes because they're not that funny. So let's get down to the real reason why we are here. We are here to present the nominations for the best performance by a human. Hence the jokes. And the nominees are Catherine Mary Stewart, Knight of Comet. Dolph Lundgren, Don't Kill It. Kate Siegel, Hush. Sam Elliott, The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot. Judah Lewis, The Babysitter.
Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate your jokes as well.
Yeah, I do too.
Your dad jokes are very much on my level.
I really enjoyed the Human Torch one. That was good. Made me laugh. Best performance by a human.
Why is a human so difficult to say?
Isn't it? Should it be It's not unhuman, is it?
No, absolutely not.
Best performance by a human. It's difficult to say. I can't say it. Should we go through them in order again?
Yeah.
Catherine Mary Stewart, Night of the Comet.
I loved Night of the Comet.
I did as well. It's a really good little film.
Something that totally took me by surprise in our first season. An 80s movie.
Yep. Finished 7th in season 1.
I thought it was great. And she was the best thing in it.
Yeah, by far.
And we sort of found, didn't we, in our research as we did that episode, that her character was actually very influential for Joss Whedon when he came up with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And you can really see that, in a time where, all we'd probably really seen was Ripley as a strong female character lead. She was badass. Really enjoyed
Couldn't agree more.
that movie and her performance.
She was really good in it. It's a really good film. Check it out. Dolph Lundgren.
This is just in here for shits and giggles, isn't it?
Yeah, Don't Kill It's a stupid film.
Great film.
Stupid, great film. Which probably should have been nominated for Batshit Crazy, but they couldn't all have been. But yeah, it's really good fun. Really, really good fun.
It's not that Lundgren's great in it. It's that it's just a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
He was perfectly cast in it, wasn't he?
And he's just running around slaying demons.
Yeah, he's a demon slayer.
Amazing. What more would you want?
It's really good fun. It's really good fun. It's a really good performance. Much better than his performance the second time he appeared on the stream table.
Yeah, possibly more on that later. I mean, I don't know how many acting awards Dolph Lundgren's ever been nominated for, but
congratulations on your nomination, even if you're not going to win it. Kate Siegel, Hush.
Great performance.
This is the first nomination for Hush.
Surprisingly.
This year's winner of the bottom of the stream table.
Yeah, season 2's top ranked film on the stream
fully
table.
Deservedly as well. It's a really good film.
What a concept Hush is as well.
Yeah, really takes an old genre that's probably overdone.
Yeah,
gives it a little gimmick, changes the game.
So it's a woman trapped in a house.
Yeah.
The twist is she is deaf.
Yes.
Um,
There's a masked serial killer coming for her, and she can't hear him.
She's great. She's absolutely brilliant. Non-verbal performance.
Yeah.
And just emotes all the way through.
Yeah.
We've talked about some films we've seen with a lack of tension and ominousness and building to a climax, and this film's got all of those things.
Yeah.
And she's great.
Yeah, it's really well done. Directed by her husband as well.
Yeah, Mike Flanagan.
Yep, fully deserves her nomination in this one. Sam Elliott, the man who killed Hitler and the Bigfoot.
Brilliant.
Another great performance. It's a one-man show pretty much.
Another movie that's up there in terms of being one of the most pleasant surprises.
That was my wild card for this season.
Yeah.
We've not mentioned yet.
You did better than me. It's not the film I thought it was going to be.
No.
And I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah, because it's probably, you could probably call it the film with the most misleading title.
Yeah.
Because it is about the man who killed Hitler and the Bigfoot, but it isn't about him killing Hitler and the Bigfoot.
No.
It's about how he deals with his life after that.
It's a love story.
It's a love story.
About
100%.
his lost love when he went away to war. And
it's just a man who happened to have killed Hitler and a Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's a side. They're both side plots. And he is a great performance. The film sort of hooks you in with this gonzo grindhouse title that it's got. And then it turns out to be actually a really touching film.
Do you think, I think I might have said this in the episode, do you think it's at the bottom of the stream because of its title? But do you think the title puts the general movie-going public off watching it?
I think it's...
Because it's such a
bit of
ludicrous title.
6 1 half dozen the other, because it's going to appeal to people. Certain people are going to see that title and go, yeah, I'm in straight away.
Yeah.
But it's going to turn a lot of people away.
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
going to be like, oh, I'm not watching that. It sounds stupid.
Yeah.
And it's really not. I've tried to convince my mum and dad to watch it, but I've not got there yet. But I think they'd really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Which is
this was one of the movies that my wife did watch with me, and when someone's got half an eye on something at the start, and then by the end they're like
fully hooked in.
Yeah, I'm with this. That's what happened to her with this one.
Good.
Sam, look, I'm quite a fan of Sam Elliott anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
He's great in this. Really strong contender.
Agreed. And finally, Judah Lewis from The Babysitter, our youngest nominee.
Yeah.
Probably, I think he was 14 when he filmed it. It's a bit older now.
Babysitter was a really fun, enjoyable movie.
Proper good little slasher film.
Yeah.
Really, really
funny.
Good fun. And he's really good in it as well. Considering he is really young. He's probably 13, 14 when he filmed
it. So he's the lead. He's the
lead, yeah. He carries the whole
I was going to say damsel in distress, but that's not to put the character down.
It's the only film that we've done so far that's getting a sequel that's coming out this year at some point.
Yes, directed by McG.
Yeah. Judah Lewis is really good in it. He carries that whole film. And
he's funny.
It's a strong ensemble cast.
He's funny when he needs to be. He does proper acting when he needs to be. He's does the whole imperil thing when he needs to.
Yeah,
really good.
Really strong contender. It's a really good performance. It's a really tough category to call, this one. When I was going through it last night, I was like, literally any one of those could win it.
There's a good argument for all of them.
I think you can discount Dolph Lundgren.
The argument for Dolph Lundgren would, whilst it is there, it would. We want this to be a bit of a. Actually, maybe we're a little facetious putting him in there.
It may be
compared to the others. So yeah, I think
we can discount that. But the other four literally could go anywhere.
I have a favourite.
I've got a favourite as well. Do you want to say them at the same time?
Okay.
Go on.
After 3?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Kate
Sam
Siegel.
Elliott.
Well, we're going to have a debate. I can 100% see the argument for Sam Elliott.
Okay.
But I think
Continue.
Kate Siegel, her performance in a film which she's pretty much in on her own all the way through. Because the other guy, he has barely any lines. I don't think that...
He has a presence, though.
He has strong screen presence. But
there's barely any lines in this movie.
Lines in the whole film. But her performance, playing a deaf lady when she's not deaf and running around and stabbing things, and I think her performance is exceptional. And I really, really do think that she carries that film and makes that film what it is. And that film is the best film we've seen out of both seasons, in my opinion. Well, one of the best films we've seen out of both seasons.
Yeah, it's right up there.
Right up there.
Okay, you're not wrong. That is a very valid argument.
Argue Sam Elliott to me.
I think Sam Elliott has to do more. His range required for his movie is wider.
I think that's a fair argument, yeah.
He also carries it.
Yeah.
It's not as much of a one-person show as Kate Siegel in Hush, but the emotion he puts in this, he has to do a bit of the action man stuff. He gets vomited on by a Bigfoot, but then he gets across this love story.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
The weight that his character has on his shoulders, you really feel that.
You do.
You can feel the load he's carrying around with him. And when he sort of makes peace to a degree at the end of the movie, I think he's the most... All right, I'm not... Before we decide if this is the best performance, I would say it's the most powerful performance.
Yeah, agreed.
We've seen.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
They're very different, the two of these. So this is I'm not quite sure how we're gonna resolve it. Maybe the thing to argue myself down against Sam Elliott is that he's not the only person carrying the load in this, because the younger version of his character is played by a different actor.
Yeah,
but he is the emotional weight of this movie.
Yeah, he is. He really is. And if I was going to... So, because you've just argued down Sam Elliott, I guess I just need to argue down Kate Siegel in the fact that it is all just set in one location and she is just playing the same role all the way through. It's not as powerful a performance as Sam Elliott's is. So maybe... I think you're probably right. I think Sam Elliott really does deserve that plaudits because he's an old guy as well.
Sure.
Not the oldest guy we've seen on the show by a long way, but take that role and it's a really meaty role. And like you say, there's a lot of different things he has to do and the gravitas to it. I wouldn't be against giving it to him.
I know I'm not against giving it to Katie Siegel, don't get me wrong.
It's the closest one we've had.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a really tough one to pick, but I think we can agree that it would go to Sam Elliott then.
Okay.
Yeah?
Does that mean I owe you one?
No, it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
It was well argued and I conceded. Congratulations to Sam Elliott for his best performance by a human out of the 50 films that we've seen.
Well done. You are the best human.
Which leads us on to the worst human. The worst performance by a human is next.
The worst human. You're the worst.
And to present the award for worst performance by a human, we are joined by Linda, Donnie and Adrian from the Cage's Kiss podcast.
Greetings and salutations. We are Cage's Kiss, the Nicolas Cage podcast, where we discuss each of the National Treasure's cinematic masterpieces and his life. We also try to glean whatever kernels of wisdom we can from his character that week. My name is Linda.
My name is Donnie.
And I'm also Adrian.
Tonight we are here to present one of the awards. The award for worst performance by a human.
You know, Donnie, motion pictures can make you cry, and they can make you cry.
Most of them make me want to die a little inside.
Yep, most of them kind of took you there whether or not you were looking to.
Speaking of tucking, that's a very nice dress.
Why, thank you. Why, everybody who's everybody is here tonight. And you're looking rather dapper, too.
Thank you. I thought the bow tie around my balls was nice.
It's a nice touch.
But I felt that the top hat and the monocle was just a little too much.
But when I make him jiggle, it looks like he's talking. And that's probably better performance than the people who are nominated tonight.
The nominations are...
Nicolas Cage for Between Worlds.
What? Ooh. That can't be serious.
Not Yahoo serious. Grant Masters. Await further instructions.
Noah Clarke.
That's not a line read. That's...
It's instructions. You heard Grant Masters. Noah Clarke for The Anomaly. Who dat?
Jean-Claude Van Damme for Blackwater.
Okay, now I know it's a joke. JCVD's never done us wrong.
Tracy Morgan got the clapper? Oh, he was in the clapper.
Oh. Well, this is some stiff competition.
And speaking of stiff, looks like Donnie's ready to go home.
Thank you, guys. That's much appreciated.
I can't believe me and Donnie have won the same thing.
I know. It's so embarrassing for you. And I've got the same dress on as Adrian.
It'll be all over the paparazzi shots in the morning.
It really will. Do you think that they've watched too many Nicolas Cage films and they've now gone insane?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's
undoubtedly.
That really is what's happened. With
Wait till they get to the bad stuff.
Oh, God.
Check out Cage's Kiss.
Yeah, Cage's Kiss is a great podcast.
Nicolas Cage only podcast.
It really is. Can't argue with you there.
They're great guys. Really great guys.
Yeah, we went on their show once.
We did.
Yeah, it was really good. Really good fun. Thanks, guys, for presenting that. So, worst performance by I can't say it. Worst performance by a human. Start at the top, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Between Worlds.
It's a terrible performance. It's a terrible film.
Couldn't agree more.
I don't need to see him in his posing pouch.
Ever again.
No,
agreed. Just move straight on from that.
Yeah.
There's no, we don't need to say anymore. Grandmasters await further instructions.
So he's the aforementioned zombie dad.
Yeah.
From the family.
It's a really bad performance.
He's really bad.
He's really wooden.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he just was like, I'm going to go upstairs now and go to my study?
Yeah.
Just halfway through, his daughter just broke her leg or something stupid.
Doesn't react like anyone
in the real world.
It's really bad.
It's a really bad performance. Noel Clarke in The Anomaly.
Sorry, Noel.
Awful performance. It's definitely the by far.
Your mix of like Kung Fu Matrix / WWE wrestling is terrible. The acting's terrible.
The film's terrible.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Blackwater. Terrible. Again, Jean-Claude Van Damme is awful in this film.
This is the movie where Van Damme looks like a baked potato with the mumps. And he can't move in this film. He's supposed to... He can't do his martial arts stuff.
No.
And
so what has he got left once you take that away from him? What has he got left?
Because it's not... Sure as shit ain't his acting skills.
No, that's for definite.
Awful.
And Tracy Morgan for The Clapper.
I remember saying at the time, I don't know if he is this a performance or is this what Tracy Morgan's like all the time?
I think it's pretty much... It's like Tracy Morgan is everything I've seen him in. He's the same.
This is a really distasteful movie because he almost plays it like he's a guy with mental
learning difficulties.
Yeah,
but I think he is. It's like,
but that's not. We've talked about this in the episode. I really like this episode. I think it's one of my favourite episodes that we've done.
Yeah, it's
where
right
we talk about the Clapper, and we talk about it more in detail there. But it's really distasteful because it's almost played like he is playing a guy with learning difficulties.
Yeah.
But it's never mentioned that is the case, and it's what is going on in this film. I don't understand it.
The Clapper's a terrible
He's
film.
The worst thing in a bad film.
Yeah, this is a real tough one as
well.
Throw
a dart at this one.
Literally any one of them can win this. I think you've got... Nicolas Cage is a good actor.
Yes.
That's a fact. He's won an Oscar. Noel Clarke is a good actor.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I don't think you can say that about the other three.
No.
So I think you can therefore discount the other three because the two good actors in this category are giving off terrible performances.
Okay.
Do you agree?
I think there's a real strong argument for Van Damme.
Really?
Yeah.
Worse than... Wow.
I think he was that bad.
He is really bad.
He dragged. This was a bad film anyway, but he... I don't even got the words. He's just like animate plasticine. You know?
Yeah, he is really bad in it. Okay, but maybe we can... So we definitely discounted Tracy Morgan and Grandmasters.
Okay.
Do you think?
Yeah. Okay. We've got to narrow them down somehow.
We have. The one I've picked, the one I think should win it, is Noel Clarke.
Okay.
Because, like we've said now numerous times, The Anomaly is a terrible film. His performance in The Anomaly is awful. When he tries to impersonate Brian Cox.
I'd forgotten about that bit.
And he doesn't sound anything like Brian Cox.
So yeah, when he
just puts on a really fake British accent.
I don't even want to explain it.
No, I don't even want to explain it.
When he's trying to pretend to be Brian Cox in Noel Clarke's body.
Yeah.
And he's all like, all right.
Tally-ho, chaps. And
tea and cake. Butter the scones.
But Brian Cox doesn't talk like that. So that's for me is a terrible performance.
You've won it. You've won me round. I'd forgotten it. He does that bit.
He does do that.
Yeah.
And that's just when he's being bad. There's the rest of it's shit as well.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but that tips it over the edge for me.
I feel really bad now. He's a double BOTScars winner.
Is he? Yeah. Worst film and worst actor.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, Noel. Maybe I won't tweet him with his awards. Which brings us to our final award of the evening, the Shiniest Gem Award.
Indeed.
This is presented by our good friend and Patreon, Jordan Shenton from the Grief Burrito podcast.
Hello everyone, my name's Jordan from the Grief Burrito podcast, and I would like to personally welcome you to the BOTScars. It's a genuine honour to be reading the nominations for the Shiniest Gem category for my favourite podcast. I love them so much that they're my phone wallpaper. They actually are though. But honestly, all jokes aside, it's been an absolute pleasure to see these guys grow and to collaborate with them, and they'll definitely be in the podcast big leagues before long. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the nominations for the BOTScars' prestigious Shiniest Gem Award. The nominations are Hush, The Dawn Wall, Mirage, What Keeps You Alive, Revenger, and Animal World.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan. Everyone, go check out Grief Burrito. Jordan and Harrison are awesome.
Yeah, they are. They're really good. It's a really good podcast as well. It's really good fun. Shiniest Gem. Do you want to explain what Shiniest Gem means?
It is our version of best film.
Yes.
So, but again, similarly, it's not necessarily what finished top of the table.
No.
It could be, it depends how you want to argue it. Is it the thing that surprised you most? Is it the thing you enjoyed the most?
Yeah.
Or is it the thing that you thought was objectively the best piece of work?
Yeah. So
it can be all or any combination of that.
The whole concept of the show is diving down to the bottom of the stream, finding gems that are down there
that no one's found
that
before,
nobody's found before,
or aren't talking about,
and representing them really, and finding them and explaining to people why they should watch them. And this is going to be the shiniest one of those gems. So therefore, the best film, like you say, it could be anything. It could mean anything. I know for a fact. I've already know for a fact what I want to win this. Do you want to touch through them in order?
So we probably don't need to go into detail on a couple of them because we've talked about a couple of them quite a bit. So Hush, which won season 2, and the only thing I would say that I haven't really mentioned before is it is a great example of when you do a genre well.
Yeah.
Because we saw another slasher woman stuck in a house film later in the season. He's out there, and that was awful.
Yeah.
And Hush, I'm not the biggest horror slasher fan.
Slasher
fan. And but this won me round. It was great.
It's definitely the best film we've seen this season.
Yeah.
Possibly overall. The Dawn Wall.
We've talked about the Dawn Wall.
It's a documentary. It's brilliant.
I wonder, is it already a bit highly regarded to be?
Definitely since we've watched it, it's gained in a bit of a following, shall we say.
Yeah, is it a gem that a couple of other people have already discovered?
There's another film called Free Solo, which is a similar sort of idea.
Tommy Caldwell's in that as well.
Same people, same mountain. Mirage.
A wonderful surprise.
Definitely the biggest surprise. It's a Spanish film.
Yep.
It's dubbed. Yeah, it is dubbed. It's time travel-y. It's a really good thriller. It's a really nice pace to it.
Great twist. It's an homage to things like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
My biggest abiding memory of Mirage is that I put it off watching it until the last minute because there was just something that made me think
this is going to be shit.
Not necessarily shit, but just like I'm not in the
right. I know what you mean. I didn't watch it for a long time either.
Yeah, it doesn't look easy. It doesn't. I'm not worried about watching difficult things.
I know exactly what you're trying to say,
but I just couldn't quite find the right time. And then I watched it when I absolutely at the last minute, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it's such a good film. What Keeps You Alive? We've briefly mentioned that as well.
Amazing. Same. We talked about The Cliff Push.
Yeah.
This is an award-winning film. Absolutely great film.
Yeah, it's really good. It's
beginning to end.
It's a good, really good.
I think the criticism we gave it is maybe it was a 5 minutes
too long.
Yeah. Because it has a couple of endings, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has a nice ending, and then it goes back and tries to get another one, and then another one. So yeah, there is that. Revenger. What can you say about Revenger?
Possibly the most just balls to the wall fun.
Yeah.
There's lots of martial arts type movies out there. I just had a great time watching it.
Yeah.
Absolutely flew by.
This was one that I was really dreading watching because it's subtitled. I thought that was going to be difficult, but there's not a lot of dialogue in it, so it's not that difficult. But yeah, it's so much fun. I didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's just fun and funny all the way through. And Animal World,
which we've talked about.
Talked about a lot.
Again, a fantastic surprise. I can't stress this enough. I would never have thought Rock, Paper, Scissors would be exciting.
It's basically Rock, Paper, Scissors, the movie. And it's so exciting and so gripping.
It is gripping.
And really, really good. There's no other word to say that it's really good.
Yeah.
It's a good film. And this is a really tough category to pick. It's really, really tough. I think they're the top 3 from each season.
Yeah, that's how we did it.
Yeah. It's just what we wanted to do. Do you have one that's jumping out at you straight away?
I have 2. I'm really... I don't know where to go with it. There's 2 that stick out for me.
I've decided on one.
Okay.
I've narrowed it down. I think the winner of this award should be Mirage.
Okay.
Is that one of your 2?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is, yeah.
Good. We said Shiniest Gem, so this is something that nobody's seen. Nobody's seen Mirage. We've found it at the bottom of the stream out of nowhere. It's Spanish, You just wouldn't watch it. If you didn't know what it was, you just wouldn't watch it. No. There's no appeal to it. And then when you watch it, you're so rewarded with this really good, really well-written...
Time travel murder mystery.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Fantastic twist at the end that then twists again.
But it earns it.
It really earns it.
It's not one of these where we've talked about before where it's a twist for twist's sake.
No. It needed it and it earned it, and it was really, really well done.
Yeah.
I would argue for Mirage all day. I would love to get more eyes on Mirage. I think everybody should see it. It's if you're into that sort of film, it's dubbed, which will put people off, but it's not badly dubbed.
No.
I've seen much worse dubbing. I've seen an English film dubbed into English that's worse.
Yeah.
What was that? The
Super.
The Super.
Val
For some
Kilmer
reason
film.
that's dubbed all the way through for no reason.
From about 3 weeks ago.
It doesn't put you off. You don't even notice it after a while. I can't express to you enough how much I love Mirage. I really can't. It did finish second in the stream table last year.
Okay.
So if you discount documentaries, then it's the best film from season 1.
Season 1.
I'd argue for it all day.
Yeah, that's cool.
What's the other one out of your 2 that you've got?
Animal World.
Yeah.
So
they were my 2 as well.
So not consciously, the 2 that I have highlighted, Mirage and Animal World, are both the 2. I'll say it, the 2 most pleasant surprises for me. Where I didn't think this was something I'd necessarily be into, and they both knocked my socks off.
Yeah,
basically.
Couldn't agree more.
And not that it's the be all and end all, but because I don't tend to be much of a repeat watcher, but I could see me going back to these.
Yeah,
in the future.
I'd happily rewatch any of those.
Means
6
anything?
Films.
Yeah.
There's any of those 6 films are brilliant. They're the films that we wanted to find, and they're films that we did find.
They're all total recommendations to go out and
couldn't agree more. Everybody would enjoy all 6 of those films. It's a real struggle between the 2. They're both foreign as well. Revenge is foreign as well. 3 out of the 6 foreign films. We're arguing for films that are neither of them are top of the stream table.
No.
I just think I think Mirage would probably appeal to more people than Animal World will. There'll be people out there who would hate
Animal World is weird, and there will be people who
like, what the fuck is this? I'll turn it off after 10 minutes. I don't think you'd get that with Mirage as much. I think as a film, Mirage is a better film. And it's the most surprising film out of the ones that we found.
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mirage.
I'm so happy. But honestly, if you've not seen Mirage, please go out and watch it. It's a really, really well-made film. And it's the winner of the Shiniest Gem Award on the bottom of the stream BOTScars ceremony.
Congratulations in Spanish.
That's it. So we've just got one thing left we want to do. And we want to open up the bottom of the stream Hall of Fame.
We are.
The Captain's Gallery. Is that what we're going to call it?
Yeah. So this is where you and I...
We're going to pick one each.
We're going to have one each. So you, as you promised last week...
Yep.
You are going to get pictures of these people.
I am.
You're going to add them to some wall space here on the boat.
I am indeed.
In amongst all the other movie and sports memorabilia.
There's not a lot of wall space left. But
they don't have to be big pictures.
I think I can find some.
Who's going first?
Up to you. I don't mind.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
So,
who is going into the Hall of Fame? The first inductee.
The first inductee to the bottom of the stream Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Shannon Purser.
Wow. Wow.
Shall I explain my way?
Please explain why you're inducting Shannon Purser into the Hall of Fame.
Shannon Purser is the lead of Sierra Burgess' A Loser.
She is.
She was also in Wish Upon.
She was, indeed. She got brutally killed in that.
Yeah, where she was one of the best friends. And we've talked about Sierra Burgess' A Loser. It's a bad film. A really bad film. But she's good in it.
Yeah.
She's very good in it, actually. And she has come up numerous times. Like I say, she was in Wish Upon as well. She's also a bit of a Netflix legend because she was in Stranger Things.
She's in season 1 of Stranger Things.
So she was Barb, who is a bit of a meme machine. And she's in Riverdale.
Is she?
Which is on Netflix
I
over here.
I haven't seen that.
Yes, my wife is a big fan.
Oh.
So I think she's a worthy entrant, both for her appearances on Netflix and the amount of debate
we have
she has generated on this show.
Her quite a lot. She's
a good actress.
Couldn't agree more. She fully deserves a spot in the Captain's Gallery. I've just made that up and I'm calling it that from
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, Shannon Purser.
Welcome.
So Shannon Purser appeared in 2 of the films on the stream table.
Yeah.
The person I want to induct has appeared in 3.
Oh.
And I think he's the only person to have appeared in 3 films on the stream table.
Okay.
And so therefore is a worthy inductee in my opinion. The person I want to induct into the Hall of Fame is Mason Blair.
Oh yes.
So appeared in Murder Party.
Yep.
Appeared in Hold the Dark, and appeared in Small Crimes.
Yeah. He's not only an actor, is he?
He's also a director.
Yeah.
He's also in another film that's on the long list.
Okay.
Which we'll get there.
He's a writer as well, though, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He wrote... He was on the writing staff for Hold the Dark, I believe.
I think he wrote Small Crimes.
I think he wrote Small Crimes.
Which we didn't like.
We didn't like. We didn't really like Murder Party either.
No.
We did like Hold the Dark.
Yeah.
That finished quite high up. I think he's just... Whenever I think of this podcast now, I think of Mason Blair because he's just there. He's just been there.
He's clearly got a good contract with Netflix.
Yeah, he has. He's in 2 of the films from season 1. He's in 1 of the films from season 2. Just put him in. Let's get him in there. He deserves it.
He may well pop up again.
He made me laugh more than anything else in Murder Party when he was running around with that chainsaw.
Oh, he was the werewolf guy, wasn't he?
Played the werewolf in Murder Party.
When he had his mask melted onto his face. That was horrific.
He had a chainsaw, and it was a plug-in chainsaw, and he was just running around without it plugged in. It was brilliant. It made me laugh more than anything else in that film. He briefly cameos in Hold the Dark, and he briefly cameos in Small Crimes.
Yep.
But he definitely is on the writing staff for 2 of them, I think. Mason Blair, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, so I will get some pictures of them, and maybe I'll put them along the top of the TV or something.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Something like that. Along with the Grief Burrito pin badge that we've got up there. That's it, I think.
What an evening.
Oh, thank you everybody for joining us for...
Who's hosting the after show party?
Elton John.
Excellent. Welcome aboard, Elton.
Yeah, thank you everybody who came along and presented an award for us. Thank you to everybody who's listened over the years. Over the year. And let's move on to season 3.
We're not going anywhere.
No.
We will be here for the next well, as long as people are listening. We're having a great time doing this.
Yeah, we love it.
And we will carry on.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody that we're here and check us out.
I just thought of a Tiny Dancer joke involving Peter Dinklage, but I'm not going there. Right.
We do have one last bit of admin to do.
Okay.
Season 3 starts next week.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
We got to pick a
We need to watch a film, as we can't start season 3 without a film. So I'm going to head to the randomizer. Are you ready?
I sure am.
It's picked a film called Take Me.
Oh, hello.
Shall we have a look?
Let's do it.
Do you want to hear the synopsis of Take Me?
Yes, please.
Take Me is from 2017. It's a 15. It says, Ray is a fledgling entrepreneur who specialises in high-end simulated abductions. He jumps at the chance when a mysterious client contacts him for a weekend kidnapping with a handsome payday at the end, but the job isn't all that it seems.
Brilliant.
Sounds interesting. It's got Taylor Schilling in.
Oh, Netflix fave.
Netflix favourite, exactly. So we'll go out and watch that this week at some point, and we'll come back next week and we'll start season 3. And we'll talk about Take Me.
Thank you, everyone who came along tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks
we
for
really
all
do
your...
appreciate it. We hope you've enjoyed the episode. It's something a bit different that we wouldn't normally do.
Yeah. Let us know what you thought.
Let us know what you thought.
We're going to go and party with everyone.
Yeah. Enjoy the after show, everybody.
Cheers.
Bye.